Like play like joke. Amechi has become irrelevant. And Wike really wants to come on board and take this thing. He wants to be here and be here. He wants to be Tokunadu both in APC and PDP. Well, I don't even know if it is appropriate for the old saying, how are the mighty falling, to come into play here. But chai, life is a joke full of ironies, tosses us up and down. And I just wonder and ask myself why we struggle so much to impress life instead of allowing it to deal with us as it deems fit. You know, at times after so much struggles, arranging and packaging our lives, life just laughs and deals an explicable blow on us. Or how does one explain what has happened politically to the immediate past transportation minister Rotimi Chibike Amechi? Of course, you know Amechi, doesn't who doesn't know him? He comes as big as one can imagine, as large and as loud, ambitious, blunt at times, no 90s, sure-footed, fine boy, no pimple, with a closely knit family. Many people admire the often public affection between him and his wife, Judith. He calls her his best friend, confidence, wife of his youth. Oh, so nice. You know all those, but for the purpose of this write-up, I need to do a brief reintroduction of Amechi. Amechi's journey to politics began when he was appointed a special assistant during the government in Rivers State of Chief Rufus Ada George and his deputy, Dr. Peter Odili. Amechi was attached to Odili's office. He had always been attached to Odili long before then. The military, headed by maximum leader General Sani Abacha, sacked that government. It was in an interim one, hurriedly put together by then military President General Ibrahim Babangida when he stepped aside. When General Abacha passed on and the gentle-looking General Abdusalami Abubakar stepped in as the head of state, politicians and politics came alive again, and Amechi was, of course, with Odili. While Odili contested for the office of the governor, Amechi went for the House of Assembly. The strong speculations is that Amechi was allegedly defeated by Uche Okuku, but somehow he made it to the assembly, and Odili made sure Amechi was installed Speaker of the House, a position he held for 8 years. From there, Amechi's luck propelled to high heavens. More than any of those who contested for the presidential primary of the APC, Amechi had held more challenging and responsible and respectable political offices. Here goes: two-term Speaker of the House of Assembly, Chairman Conference of Speakers, Nigeria, two-term Chairman Nigeria Governors Forum, two-term Minister of Transportation, for 2 times Director General President Muhammadu Buhari Presidential Campaign Council 2015 and 2019. How solid and rich one can one's credentials be? As a governor, he knew how to use power, asked the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, the brilliant Joseph Mbu. During Amechi's time as governor, he showed the guy pepper and fire. At once, Mbu, a sure-footed officer, withstood the fire and closed his eyes to avoid Amechi's pepper. Then Amechi faced then President Goodluck Jonathan. Stubborn guy, strong-willed. Amechi was the one who leaked the controversial, non-proven story that over 45 billion US dollars were missing during Jonathan's administration. Asked then Central Bank Governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi for former Emir of Kano. He said so. Amechi was the one who, as a governor, led the rebellion against Jonathan, and he was the one who introduced APC to Rivers State and the South. As a grade A minister under President Muhammadu Buhari, he was very powerful. There were many times he showed raw power. He knew how to have his way. As former managing director of the Nigeria Port Authority, the elegant Hadiza Bala Usman, Amechi dealt with her. He was a powerful minister, very powerful. So what happened to Amechi? The Amechi who not a few people thought was being groomed. by President Buhari and the powers that be in the north to succeed him in office. He served the north, no doubt. He did. Check out the number of landmark projects he executed down there, especially in Daura, when he was given the high-profile title Dan Amana Daura by the Emir of Daura, Buhari's Emir. Many thought, that is it. He will succeed Buhari, especially as Nigeria's first lady. The no-nonsense Aisha Buhari did the unprecedented. She visited Amechi and his wife Judith in their home, bearing gifts to congratulate him to the Daura title. The pictures were flaunted, and many took that visit as an endorsement of Amechi as Aisha's husband successor in office. So what happened? Or what has happened? How did Amechi suddenly become anonymous? Is it not the same Amechi who called a former minister of aviation a thief on national television? Why has he been so quiet politically? How did his larger than life image disappear? Where has all the power gone to? Who has he become, or why has he become irrelevant politically, both in Rivers State and at the national level? It is like cold water has been poured on him. Amechi suddenly become history. See many questions. It is like cold water poured on him. As Amechi suddenly become history. Not a few people think so, and they point accusing fingers at Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, the one-man riot squad of Nigeria policies who not only showed his party, the PDP's Pepe, but destroyed it and ended Atiku Abubakar's every 4 years presidential run unless the court say otherwise. You will recall that Amechi and Wike were on the same PDP. They were good friends aside from the fact that both of them belonged to the influential Odili political family. Wike stood by Amechi when former President Olusegun Obasanjo stopped Amechi from running for the governorship seat of Rivers State, which Odili had ceded to him. Wike fought for Amechi, who was in exile in Ghana. And when the Supreme Court, in one of its inexplicable rulings, declared Amechi the governor, even though he did not stand for election, Amechi rewarded Wike by making him his chief of staff, but it was a relationship bound not to last. Two strong, stubborn, ambitious people, they were bound to be caught in a power struggle. At that time, their relationships with their mentor Odili had become cold when Wike was literally shipped to Abuja by Amechi to become a minister of state education. Wike found his feet and, according to him, literally crawled back to Odili's, and his relationship with Amechi continued to go down the hill. Then, a combination of a few things made Amechi dump the PDP for the APC. Not a few people believe that Amechi, more than anything else, left the PDP because of Wike. They say Wike was too strong for him in the states, and even though Amechi was governor, Wike caged him. That was how come Wike stopped Amechi from installing his own successor. He defeated Amechi and became the governor. With Wike as governor, Amechi was finally caged. He ran Amechi out of the state. Federal might could not save him. It was from that time that Amechi's influence in the state began to wane. Of course, Amechi's office as Minister for Transportation gave him a lot of power and influence and visibility, but it couldn't save him. The APC was unable to win any significant position in the state. Not encouraging, but at the federal level, within APC, Amechi reigned. In his state, he had to tap roots. He had no tap roots. At the presidential villa, Amechi reigned too. Otherwise, how was he able to carry out so many projects in Daura, which earned him that high-profile title from the Emirates? How was he even able to remove the high-profile and privileged Bala Mohammed from the managing directorship of the MPA? When Amechi picked the presidential form for the APC primary, many thought it would be a goal for him, but many too felt he lost it the day he declared in Port Harcourt his interest to run for the office, they said he made a fundamental mistake when he ran round the venue to show he is very healthy. They say it was not a diplomatic move, seeing that the state of Buhari's health was a subject of controversy. What did he want to prove? They asked. Was he indirectly mocking the president's fragile health? Others murmured. When he lost to Tinubu, not much sympathy went his way from his party members. His non-reappointment as a minister by Buhari after the presidential primary was seen as a sign that Ameachi had fallen out of favor. Perhaps he didn't even take note, but the worst awaited him in the hands of Wike, who found a way to shunt him out of the APC. Wike took over the APC in the state and made Amechi irrelevant in a party where he was among the top 20 at the national level. Wike convinced them Amechi is a paperweight politician in the state. Every who is who in the APC began to ignore him. In Rivers State, Wike became the man to go to. The toast APC leaders, including APC governors, would visit Port Harcourt and ignore Amechi. They would go and dine with Wike and not even have the courtesy of placing a phone call to Amechi to tell him, we are coming to your state or we are in your states. Yeah. Wonders they see shall never end. This is what even the ones that they are praising. See, one thing I know, we can go on and on and on and on and on. We know all the story, but at the end of the day, nobody will be there forever. That is it. Those who were giants 10, 20, 30 years ago, where are they today? They are nobody. So it is a normal thing. But one thing is that these people don't really have sense. They do anything jaga, 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 jaga. They just believe that when we get to that bridge, or when they get to that bridge, they will cross it. But as at the moment, they will do and undo. That is one thing about them. And as before you know it, they will be smiling to banks, irrespective of anything. So even all the people that are being praised today, they will still become irrelevant, no matter what. So guys, let's say your opinion and have your take on this.